Good afternoon, YouTube. So here we are, the new addition to my toolbox. I figured maybe we'd do a quick toolbox tour now that everything is a little more comfortable, a little more organized. It's probably not permanent, but it's the organization isn't permanent, I should say. So I just got done unboxing this guy, and unfortunately, as you can tell, it's not the same color. They didn't have the top in blue. It was temporarily unavailable, and who knows when we'll get it. And I was like, I need it now because I'm starting a new job on Monday, and, well, requires having more room for tools. So I got the top with only 2 layers of drawers because I wanted the extra headroom up here. And for the main reason, I wanted these guys under the cover. I don't want them in a drawer, I want them under cover, where they're easily accessible. So, and then, yeah, charging stuff, fits my drills under here standing up. That was the main thing, because Dad has the one where I think it has like 5 or 6 layers of drawers, and it's got a puny little up top section where he can't close his lid because he's got the same set of T-handle torque or Allens and can't close the top. So, yeah. Now, I just got done kind of moving like stuff with like stuff, and like I said, it's probably not permanent, but it's about as close as we're gonna get. And here we have our 1/4 inch deep sockets and adapters. Can never have enough adapters, and I just went and bought some stuff. I haven't quite unwrapped it, and I probably won't till I need it, because those aren't the only ones I have, and I've never had a set of these, but I figured that'd be handy. And I got those guys. These ones you could put a socket on the end and then use a wrench on top. So many times a socket will fit, but you can't get the ratchet in. And, well, at that point, you know, there's literally not enough room to get the bolt out, probably, but at least I could try, right? So, and then I just got these guys, crow's foot, 3/8 drive. And then I got, you know, spark plug sockets, and then I've got your gimmick sockets, which I don't know that I've really ever used. I've tried to use them, but I don't know. Got them if I need them. Who knows? Maybe they'll come in handy one day. Got our hammers. So I was going to get a brass hammer, and I didn't. Pry bar. This drawer only has 1 slide where, like, I don't know. I suppose it only needs one. It's not that big. This one's got 2 slides per side. But anyway, we got our screwdrivers and some more pry bars. I'm going to have to buy another set of those because there's a lot of times we're having, you know, a duplicate of the same length is handy, because when you're using a short one and the next size up on each side, it's uneven torque, and it just becomes a mess. Can never have enough writing utensils, which I'll be adding. I've ordered some. I'm waiting on it to show up for the moment, but Sharpie paint pen marker thingies. Freaking handier than handy. I mean, they don't rub off easy, and I got keys labeled top and bottom and initials, so. But then we got our pick drawer, pry tool drawer, and that's, I guess, how that's semi gonna go. And some cutting utensils. This isn't permanent there, that just got set there, I guess. And this is the junk drawer at the moment. So I have a chest, not a chest, but a little rolling cart with a drawer, and that's where all my goobery silicone stuff's gonna go, so that'll be handy. I'll jump into our wrench drawer, which isn't all of them, but this is a decent amount of them. I've got little bitty guys. Don't ask me how that got so nasty, but got all our gear wrench. This is my original set of ratcheting wrenches that are 5-6 years old already. And then my original set of Craftsman Wrenches, minus that one. That's probably Grandpa's. But and then I bought this guy not too terribly long ago, a couple years ago already. The SKs. I really like them. I've only had to warranty one out, the 10 mil, quit ratcheting for some reason. But and then I've added some more. Whenever I find a good deal on wrenches, I get them. just because they aren't ratcheting, but they will do the job nonetheless. And I need to get the intermediate sizes. Got to get the 25 and 24 and apparently 23 because I have a 22, 21, and apparently I don't have a 20. I think the only 20 I've got is in that. So it's not a complete set, but it's hopefully enough to get me by. And but yeah, I think I'm missing 5/16 there, and a quarter, or no, a 9 would be nice. Well, a 9 and an 8 would be nice. Oh, I don't know why I've got a 7/8 over here. Or 7/16, I should say. So that's actually the 10 mils a lot. And then there's supposed to be a 9 and an 8 and a 7, but I've only got 3 10s. Never had enough 10 mils, right? But yeah, so anyway, top drawer sockets. I don't know if I showed you that. Oh well. But got a couple Harbor Freight ratchets in here because they've been very helpful, very slim. And that's a lot of times what I need to get into some of these places are just some super uber slim. And a tilt head has been incredibly handy, although the joint here is not very strong. You cannot put a lot of torque on it. And then another Harbor Freight one. It's like my nightstick. It's like my Stanley, but it's got 1/4 inch on one side, which I figured that would be incredibly handy as well. And then my Stanley, which has been my tried and true, give it the beans, put a breaker bar on it type of thing. This thing is an absolute beast. I don't have a model number or anything, but I'm telling you, the Stanley locking tilt head, that is the nicest feature. I don't know that I've ever really used the tilt head, but when I do, it locks. So that's just incredibly nice. But this thing is a beast. It's not geared super small, so when you're full extent, this is my nightstick. Oh, they're both doing it now. Usually I could do it in one swath, but yeah, that one has some frickin' torque to it, and it's pretty long. So, but the joint is a little bit stronger than the Harbor Freight one. There's not much I have not broken loose with this sucker. Usually, the sad thing is, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I could feel when this one's getting ready to break, so that's when I break out the other Harbor Freight. I've had this guy for quite some time now. Actually, probably 4, 5, 6 years already. And this one's a beast too. This sucker has taken so much abuse you wouldn't even know. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of abuse this guy's seen, and it's still holding up. And obviously, I put a breaker bar on the end. I busted the bottom part of the handle. OG, original, Craftsman, and most of these are, except for some replacements, are the original. I got in a kit. Dad got me a kit how many years ago? And it's kind of like I don't even know where it's at. It's around here somewhere. You know, your carry-along toolbox kit. And it was a fairly extensive kit. It was probably one of the more diverse ones that came with all the sockets. And I got that 15 years ago already. That's at least, let's see, 15 be 10-ish. So 15, 16, 18 years ago. That's disgusting to think about, that many years that I'm this young. But yeah, a lot of these sockets are original, that old already. And the same thing with the wrenches, the standard wrenches. I bought the carriers afterwards, but yeah, it's crazy. Time flies, let me tell you. Got our oil filter wrenches. We got our spring clamp pliers and some PEX ring cutter and crimper, and I've got another tin snip up at the house. Got our handy dandy snap ring pliers with bits, and I had a smaller one of these, don't know where that's at. In here somewhere, we got cutters galore, especially the Nipex. Those are the best. Oof, man, it's tough. They're really tough. They cut through just about anything with that much leverage, and they're solid handles. They don't feel like they're gonna snap on you like Like, I don't know. I had a cheaper set somewhere, and those, my gosh, you're like, is it gonna cut? It's gonna cut. It's squeezing, but it's not really cutting. You know, it's just chintzy. Hose clamp pliers, or to clamp off your hoses, I should say, radiator hoses and such, fuel line. Hose pliers, those are handy. Dart pullers, Christmas tree dart style pullers. Got an exhaust pipe cutter, and got these guys, which I don't really hardly ever use on cars. If I do, I use this one, the one. That's the best one I've ever had. Of course, it's my second one. I really abused the first one. Actually, I still have the first one. It's right down here. It's my slide hammer now. So, finally got a slide hammer, and I got a, well, what is that, 8.8 pound weight I put on there for the extra leverage and getting the beat bop on going. So, tie rod removal tool, inner tie rod, I should say. Got some T-handles for the Duramax torque converter. We got oil pressure sensor for like the Silverados. This is part of my smoke machine. I gotta cram that in here somewhere too. How do you call that? Mighty Vac. Everybody knows a Mighty Vac. This guy, I couldn't tell you what it's for. It's for something. It's pulling pulley or something off of something. I have no clue. I don't remember. We've used it once. Got a boost tester, power steering pulley puller, exhaust expander. Got two Pitman arm pullers currently. One is a slim style. You can get in the truck without pulling the gearbox. Pitman arm puller there, or pickle fork, I should say. Tie rod separator, O2 sensor, brake line bender, pipe cutter, valve spring compressor, fan clutch tool. We got flywheel and flywheel locks. Got another seal puller there. And brake tools for doing drum brakes, and your lug stud installer, and then we got brake piston, brake caliper piston squeezer thingy mabob. Although I don't really like that unless your freaking calipers are brand spanking new. It takes a humongous toll on your hands. And then I figured to bring some of the more delicate specialty tools up here, especially with the quick disconnect stuff. You'd be surprised. Doing the fuel line, was it? It was a Suburban, like an 05 Suburban. You had to have, was it a fuel line? I think it was. You had to have this style. In order to fit that in there. For some reason, these wouldn't fit, those wouldn't fit, but those, you could barely fit that in there, but that was the only style that would fit for some reason. So now I've got all the styles pretty much, and hopefully but this guy for brake calipers, I haven't used it yet. I got it in hopes that it would be a million times better. I saw an ad on Facebook for something kind of like this, and I was like, frick. Maybe that would make life easier with doing, older brake calipers. I understand if your brake calipers are stiff, the piston is not moving like it should, then you should probably replace the caliper. Well, that's not always up to me. So, and then I got this guy because of the Cadillac. They freaking got a specialty transmission line disconnect tool. And it's just a little piece of spring steel. And I think that was like $20-$30. That was just asinine. But I had to have it to pull the radiator out, to pull the engine out, and all that stuff. But of course, we got some more Harbor Freight doodads. Got ball and Allens, regular Allens. Got triple square, and we got Torx, more triple square, but these ones are shorter, which comes in handy. I haven't hardly had to use them. It's mainly a Volkswagen Audi ordeal, especially this guy was a Volkswagen Audi ordeal to get the head bolts off of a 1.8 turbo, which is early 2000s, Passat engine. We got Allen wrenches. I lost a set, I bought another set, and then found the other set, but I waited at least 2-3 months before ordering another set, and then that's when I find them, of course. And then I had to have these guys in order to do the trans fluid change on the Cadillac. I got E-square sockets, or not E-square, I'm sorry, E-sockets. e-Torx or whatever. Reverse Torx, I guess. I don't know. They're maybe a little different. Missing a couple, but Torx sockets, Allen sockets that I bought the Craftsman kit, which had the e-Torx, regular Torx, and all the Allens and Phillips and flats and every, had all the whole kit. I think it was $100 and some bucks for all them sockets or something, but it was worth it. Got metric crow's foot. Up here is the standard SAE. Did not get the same brand. I'm on a budget. Got AC manifold gauges from Harbor Freight. Those were gifted to me, as well as the AC vac pump. But got fuel injection kit. We have brake caliper servicing tool. That's what I've used the most. But then we got our ball joint kit down here. And then we've got Noid light sets. This is for testing, like I've tested I've tested injectors with this kit. Way back in a previous video, so these are already 2-3 years old, 4 years old, something. I had it was a 2003 Ford Expedition Eddie Bauer 5.4 garbagey. It was thrashed. Let me tell you, it was just garbage. But gifted to me, and I tried to fix it up, and it had a dead miss on 1 or 2 cylinders. So I was testing the coil packs, testing the injectors, something like that. Fuel injector, okay, so maybe not ignited, maybe not. Yeah. So anyway, that came in really handy. I haven't really used them since, but if I ever need to test fuel injectors to make sure they're getting signal. We got our Harbor Freight chintzy camera, which is not very great quality. It's the lower resolution one, but head gasket tester. We got, is this my most useless kit ever? I don't think so. No, this is for my it's over here, my hub shocker. It's like a set of lug nuts just for the hub shocker. Then we got our torque sticks, Astro Torque sticks, and everything fits in here. I will be getting a side cabinet for this tool setup. It's probably going to be the gunmetal. It's gunmetal, it's blue, obviously. But just the side cabinet, so I can put all my cases and stuff, because I've got stuff up here. All that stuff I want over here. And maybe over here, I don't know. But, so the other side, this is the most useless kit ever. I'm pretty sure I bought the wrong thing. This was the most expensive one at the time. They had a little bit cheaper version. I'm pretty sure these easy out things from Craftsman are for reverse thread, because they do not work when you're trying to loosen them. It's like they bite turning right. They don't bite turning left. So I think that's reverse thread. But we've got our seal driving kit. There's the Harbor Freight vacuum pump. It was gifted to me after doing a job requiring that. The owner bought it and then gave it to me. He's like, I'm never going to use it. The hook, Power Pro, handy dandy to have. We got some taps, tap and die kit, and then we've got our Hitachi. Actually, I should probably get that out. That I'm not going to need. And that'll probably fit my Dremel in here afterwards. That is a brad nailer. So that I won't be needing working on cars. So, yeah, a zip tie. Scores. Jackass. Sandpaper, because you never know when you're going to need sandpaper for cleaning bolts or mating surface of this, that, the other, whatever. I don't know. You just never know. So, let's see if I can fit this in here flat. Whoops, don't scratch the paint. Okay, so we might even be able to fit our Dremel in here somewhere, somehow, someway. Maybe not. Huh. But I'm guessing my pump will probably go in that cabinet as well. Harbor Freight had a really nice cabinet, surprisingly. It was their new toolbox line, the more expensive one. And the drawers pulled out that you could set cases on and then pull the whole thing out. That would be pretty nice. I don't know that the Master Force ones will do that, but oops, I forgot it. The kit. Anyway, so it's one less case. Oh my gosh, another one. So I bought that one because I thought maybe it was more expensive and maybe it was going to be more bits in there, but it did not work for our application whatsoever. We've got manuals. I don't know what I'll be working on per se because they said they get a little of this, a little of that. So no, I will not be working on cars and maybe trucks every once in a while. That's mainly going to be a little bit bigger and a bit heavier. Not that I'm going to work on those there, but I figured you never know. Maybe someone comes in with something quick. They need something super quick. I don't know. But, so, anyway, I got that stuff. Tape, whatever. Double-sided tape. My measuring stuff. Got one of these is Dad's. I got to bring that to him. Tape measure. Feeler gauges, levels, rulers, bolt and bit sizers, whatever you want to call those, carpenter squares, whatever you might need those for, I don't know. Those aren't measuring, but mixing. Geez, it's already been 20 minutes. Okay, so we got punches. I just bought these guys because my old set of punches is really abused. So I'm not going to put them in the bag. I like having them in the organizing little slots. So that's probably how that's forever going to be. Brass punches so I don't mar up stuff. A couple of files because I don't really have any. My old Harbor Freight punches that, of course, now they're not going to do it, but of course not. I'm pretty sure every single one of these, the stinking thing comes out of the handle. So yeah, those were pretty solid, pretty decent punches, but they all fall apart for some reason. It's like they're glued in there, but after you beat on them, the glue breaks loose, and then the stinking thing falls out when you're trying to hold it, and then tink, 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 tink. Oh, what the hell? You know, so got to pick up another set of brushes. Never hurts. And get some of the pipe-style brushes, because those were pretty nice. These ones are pretty ugly looking, but is that it? We got our impact sockets, axle nut sockets, adapters, extensions. I need to get, I'm borrowing Dad's Nico set of sockets because I do not have a standard SAE set of impact sockets because I've never needed them, really. I've always been able to make do, and most of the stuff I work on is not standard, but I don't know if equipment is standard or not, or whether it requires it or not. Then I figured we've got ourselves a bunch of shitty Harbor Freight and Northern Tool clamps, which do not work. I mean, when it takes your entire body to turn the screw and then the screw strips out or the thing just breaks. I don't understand how they're so incredibly hard to use, but they are. Copper washers, snap rings, Dremel bits, battery fuzzy thingies, which I don't use, but I have them anyway. More E-clips, clamps, CV axle snap rings, plastic thingies. Showed you that. I think that's about it. And then I just threw a couple cases down here for the time being. Those are for those. We'll have our chargers up there for whatever, the Dremel and those, and then the other charger for that's in there. Because I have two chargers, two different guns, two batteries. Yeah. And then we got our socket kit from Gear Wrench. I really like these. I got these as a birthday present, I think, Christmas or birthday, and I really liked those. Those have been my go-to for everything. I pretty much, because they work really well with the earthquake. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the stinking ring around here that's supposed to hold the socket on, when this thing was new, and this one too, was so incredibly tight. It was hard to get a socket on. It was even harder to get a socket off. Like impossible hard. So I frickin' tried to, well, the more I used it, now they pretty much fall off. So that's that. But anyway, I think that's it, because that's that. Air tools, that's what we didn't get to. I have an air ratchet, which this is how I bought it. Sticker peel it off. I must have lost that one. I've used this 2-3 times, 4 times if that. It's so incredibly loud. I don't like using it without headphones. And yeah, that not my die grinder, but I inherited it. You can put it that way. Dad's die grinder, I have since been using. He's got one straight. I've got the 90 degree. We made a compromise. I borrow his tools. Craftsman, I bought this guy, and then was having like issues. I couldn't a lot of times break stuff loose. It was so incredibly annoying. It's like, why did I buy an Impact if I can't even break lug nuts loose? It was just pathetic. So then Dad got me an Ingersoll Rand for Christmas, and oh shit, that was just instant break loose. Sweet. But that guy struggled really bad. A couple of shitty Harbor Freight air hammers. So then I got the Astro Big Nasty, and that guy, I don't leave a dent. I even freaking got the mega long punch for that, and I've got their standard sizes, which are here somewhere. Huh. I wonder where the other ones went. Then I got an extra long hose to use on my Milton tire thingy, which is probably over on the compressor. But yeah, got some magnets. Got to have those. I do believe that's it. Nope, sorry. More torque wrenches, which I have to pull this guy out. I bought this guy first years ago, and it's not that it doesn't work. I guess it's somewhat dysfunctional because it doesn't grab anymore. It doesn't click. It doesn't ratchet anymore. It's just. And what's more annoying is my CDI, which is a very, very nice, smooth torque wrench. Quit doing that too. So it doesn't matter which one you got. This one's almost locked up. It's in the middle. I can't even go over to the left. Something's jamming in there. But when I do that, I can go both ways. So something messed up with that, but like this has such a buttery, smooth action to it. I have not felt one that nice. And then Dad, I'm going to leave those behind probably until I fix them. I keep saying I'm going to fix them, and I still haven't after all these years. Precision Instruments is another one Dad got me, which is out and about. So I just torqued the wheels on the truck today, which is right here. It's nice because it's got a tilting head, so you can tilt it a few degrees. Not a whole lot, but it's enough, to get you out past the wheel wells when you're torquing stuff. So that is really handy, but you gotta watch out for this bastard right here. Don't you dare have your finger down there when that frickin' thing goes shooting. That is some serious force on there. And boy, when that hits your fingernail, especially when your hands are ice cold, oh, are words ever said like they've never been said before? God bless it, that hurts. This guy goes up to 250, so 50 to 250. But this has been a good torque wrench so far. I really like that you don't necessarily have to loosen it down, take the tension off. You can kind of leave it as is. That's supposed to be the claim to fame, but I still do anyway, Just be on the safe side. But yeah, it's been a really good torque wrench. I really like how that one has more of an audible click. I don't know, it's got a bit of both, but you know how regular torque wrenches, you kind of got to listen for the click, you can't feel it. Well, this one you can hear it and feel it, so that's really nice. This is, I think, Dad's old ass torque wrench. Maybe not. Maybe I bought one. Maybe I bought one. I don't know. Because I think I bought this when that one died. And then I was like, I'm not buying another one of the Craftsman ones because obviously they're going to break. So I think I went to Harbor Freight and bought that. Don't know if I trust it, but I got it. And then Harbor Freight inch pound. But I ended up buying the Master Force one, and I really like that one. It's really nice for what it is. And I use that sucker a fair bit, to be honest. So for what works, I'm keeping it in here. But I have another torque wrench coming for equipment, and that will go up to 600 or 700 foot-pounds. I don't remember. So, but then we got our big boy wrenches here, which are very handy to have because doing the upgraded kryptonite tie rods, you got to have big ass freaking wrenches, whatever sizes it was. 2-inch, I'm trying to think what was 2-inch. I had to have that for something on the truck aftermarket I bought. Kryptonite or Death Grip, I don't remember, but I had to have a 2-inch freaking wrench to do that. And these Master Force ones have been really pretty decent to use, so that's why I just go wherever people have tools that I need, and Menards has been one of those places, surprisingly. So got to put up with the damn mask, but you know what? I got this on 11%. I got this on 11%. I'll be getting my side cabinet on 11%, and that is just, and I'm waiting for the 11% to come back. Otherwise, I would have ordered both, the top and the side, but I wanted to use the 11% on the side and get $107 back. Yeah. So, and then we'll get another, what, $30 off the side cabinet or so, and then I'll go and buy some more magnets like these guys to hold stuff. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I figured I'd give you guys a peek. I'm not going to be taking this guy with me. Probably take the magnetic tray. I have a bigger magnetic tray. I also have tools in the back of the car that I just picked up. I suppose I'd give you a peek at those. A bigger magnetic tray. I got this guy to organize my wrenches, but it's too tall for my wrench drawer, and I'm not moving them. Got some test leads. Those are really nice. And some more zip ties. And then we've got in the truck, not much. I'm just trying to make sure I'm as prepared as can be for this new job, so that's why I went kind of hog wild. Dad lent me his. I'm gonna give them right back because I just bought some. But yeah, needed a puller. Hopefully this puller will be good for me, not us. I bought an oversized oil filter wrench. I gotta get the in-between size because I think I've got one two sizes smaller, so I need the smaller one size down. But yeah, I think that's it. Went shopping today a little bit. Love the shocker hit. Can't say good enough things about it. So yeah, and they did give me hardware to, well, that's funky. Huh. I'll have to read the book then. I don't know how the hell that's supposed to work. They gave me hardware to secure the top to the bottom. I don't have to read on how that works because I would have thought that you would have used these for that. But I've got that instead, so I don't know if it bites onto the bottom lip or what. That's a little hokey pokey. Oh, well, maybe not. Look at that. Maybe, just maybe. I don't know. We'll do some reading. I'm cold. It's cold. I want to get the box moved over and get the truck in here because it looks like it's going to frickin' downpour like crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed. Quick little toolbox tour. And stay tuned for, I guess, more at a later date. So thanks for watching. God bless.